It's exactly the effing same. If you were involved in the last bull market around the end of 2020, when many altcoins were sat down 80, maybe even 90% in the red, they then turned around and ripped back towards the upside. Some coins doing 200 to 300x from that same period of time after being heavily down in the red. I'm here to tell you that the market's doing exactly the same thing right now, and some of those coins that will potentially be doing 100 to 200x are sat in perfect opportunities for accumulation. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to find them. So hit the like button and let's go and find us some 100x coins. So where to start? Well, let's just paint the picture, shall we? So we know exactly what's going on. This is Bitcoin. You can see it's been doing something funny, but it looks like it's about to push higher. And yes, there's lots of noise and information and news telling us why it's going to push higher, and most of it makes a lot of sense. Mostly it's because of the monetary supply. But really, it's because we're in an uptrend, which has mostly been stalled because we've run into previous all-time highs, and we've had a bit of sideways action. And why have we had so much sideways action? Well, because of those pesky ETFs back in March that caused Bitcoin to blow up probably a little bit too early on. But if we go back in time to the last bull market around this time, December 2020, you'll see that Bitcoin did the same thing. It spent a few weeks bouncing into previous all-time highs, going sideways quite a lot, causing people to be like, oh, crypto's over, we're not going to make it, and then suddenly Bitcoin ripped towards the upside and absolutely shredded everything. And you're like, well, I don't care about Bitcoin because I've been aping into altcoins. Well, okay, if you've been aping into altcoins, and you probably did it earlier on this year because everything was frothy and it looked like we were going to make ourselves millionaires, then let me tell you everything is going to be alright with the use of this Salana chart. Now, I know you don't like Salana because it's not as cool as the other layer ones you've been buying. I don't care. Okay, this is incredibly important because Salana did a 250x in the last bull market. But look, this is the Salana chart. And down below, you can see on the 16th of December 2020 is when Bitcoin actually finally broke beyond that previous high. And guys, this might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. But it's more than likely going to happen within the next 4 to 6 weeks that Bitcoin finally breaks beyond those highs. And as we look around the 16th of December 2020, you'll see that Salana was worth around $1.3 at the time. And from the previous high, Salana was actually down around 77, nearly 78%. And guess what? Probably around that time, people were probably in Telegram and Discord being like, I hold Salana and it's down 70 or 80%. I don't know whether I should be holding it anymore. Should I get rid because other coins out there are doing this and that? And then guess what? Solana absolutely rips everyone towards the upside. In just a few days, Solana is back up 270%. And then within the space of 11 months, Solana does basically a 250x from that dip down there. And you're like, well, I'm not going to buy the dip right now because crypto is going to go much lower. And here's the really inside knowledge on that. It could do. It might go lower because, yeah, September is normally in the red, but it isn't always in the red. So maybe, yeah, this September might be in the red, and if it is, maybe it goes lower and you get a chance to buy it. But wouldn't you rather be getting into a coin right now that might be down 70 or 80% that could do a 250x because we're probably somewhere pretty bloody near the bottom? And the answer, of course, is yes. Now, many altcoins are down significantly, and some have been pumping back quite nicely in the last few days. For example, TON, which is up 50% in just the last couple of days. Aether as well, up 42% from this recent dump towards the downside. And many altcoins out there performing strongly. But let's be honest, these coins are not going to be making 250 to 300x during this bull market. Why? Because they're not very good? No, because actually they've been performing incredibly strongly recently. Aether, you can see, is getting bought up incredibly strongly here. And during this period of time when many altcoins have been bleeding massively, Aether, TON have been performing pretty strongly. Same with Salana, same with Casper, and a bunch of others. So goes, if you're holding these coins, then you're absolutely fine. These are coins that you should definitely be continuing to hold, in my opinion, because they're already showing massive strength, and they will likely continue to show some strength going forward. But there is one narrative, and one narrative alone, that I think is showing the best risk to reward right this second that we have ever seen before. And it won't come as a surprise to you which narrative I'm going to talk about. But it's a narrative that was incredibly popular in the last bull market that has failed to capture much attention so far. And what is it? Well, it's gaming. GameFi crypto. Why this narrative? GameFi is dead, I hear you cry. Of course, you think that it's dead because many of the coins that people were talking about, GameFi tokens, have been absolutely decimated towards the downside. And why is that? Well, because if we look across to trends.google.com, which shows how many people are searching for GameFi tokens, you'll see that there was huge interest in the last bull market that suddenly sort of died off. So why has it died off? Well, it died off because many of these coins haven't been performing as strongly as other narratives. But that's absolutely fine, because we've still been very early in a crypto market. We've seen big growth in real-world assets because of BlackRock. We've seen big growth in deep in AI because of the growth of Nvidia and AI as a catalyst. But actually in crypto, narrative-wise, GameFi is a very, very natural fit for blockchain technology. And therefore, once the bull market continues to rage on, people will still start to seek investment into projects that are a very natural fit for blockchain technology. In the last bull market, one of the major reasons that Salana blew up was that at the time, the layer 1 that everyone was using was Ethereum. Ethereum couldn't cope with the massive demand for NFTs, couldn't cope with the massive demand for the use, which made it incredibly slow and incredibly expensive. Therefore, Salana was a very natural and easy fit, and it basically captured that move. Now there's lots of other layer 1s that are boasting to be faster and more secure. And yes, while they might capture some of the market, it is still going to be spread amongst lots of different layer 1s. Therefore, possibly we don't want to focus towards those layer 1s. Crypto games, however, are getting better all the time. It takes a long time to develop crypto games, and some of them are now ready and are actually decent playable games that I think are going to see significant growth. Considering in the last bull market, Gala Game was one of the top performers as well, doing pretty much a 10,000x from the start, and from the point of view of gamers, it actually is pretty crap. So now we've got much better games at a time when more people are entering the market, at a time when people are actually accessing crypto and playing video games. More people around the world now have access to mobile phones and now have access to cryptocurrency, thanks to things like the Ton Network and Ton Wallet. And that means I think we're going to see a huge drive in crypto gaming, despite this huge undervalued nature. Yes, there's lots of other coins in AI and deep in that are also undervalued right now. Everything, I think, pretty much is. And coming across to CoinMarketCap and literally going to the gaming category, you can see a bunch of kind of larger market cap gaming coins. But what I would recommend doing is to sort by the 90 days down percentages. Now, many people were like, oh, well, these coins are really weak, they haven't been performing well. Actually, what was more than likely happening was during the time when the markets were pretty hot and running well, a lot of these coins got pushed towards the upside significantly. Why? Big communities, loss of exposure. It meant that people ran into these coins and drove the prices up. But a lot of these people have been shaken out in the last few months. Now, if we go to the 90 days down, what we're not looking for is necessarily all of these. What we want to see is some that have started to show a bit of a return up in the last kind of 7 days or so. And what you can do is you can go down through and kind of take a look at some of these projects. Now, I happen to remember a lot of the names of these projects because I've been paying attention to YouTube and things over the last few weeks and months. Now, I think it's probably worth paying attention to coins that have been shouted out on various big YouTube channels. I'm talking the likes of Alex Becker, I'm talking the likes of Elio Trades, who are the biggest influencers when it comes to gaming, particularly in this bull market. Why is it worth paying attention to them? Because they have a grand knowledge of crypto that you don't have? Not really. More because they have huge influence on the markets. And when they go and buy particular coins, they tend to shout them out. And if they shout them out before, there's a very good chance they're holding those coins and that they will shout them out again. This is incredibly important because when the bull market starts to get people back in the space, when they're making videos, people have a lot of money. They're far more willing to go and buy what an influencer shouts out, and that will happen again. Therefore, the likes of Sidders, Myria as well, will likely see growth when they get more exposure once again from influencers. Because this wasn't by mistake, okay? Myria ramped all the way up like 9-10x, basically because loads of influencers kind of got on board. Yes, it's a cool project, does this and that. Gaming, the right narrative. Myria might be a good project within gaming, but I know it got huge amounts of exposure from certain influencers and will do again. Notably, I wasn't really an influencer who gave particular attention to this Myria coin because it was already massively overhyped. But now you can see after a very significant pullback from that previous high, swing high, it's now sat around 88% down, which might sound awful, but think about what happened to Salana. Now, what you're looking for, Myria might not necessarily show it, but look, after that dip towards the downside, what you're looking for is a retrace. 37% back up. Most coins are probably at least 20, 30, 40, 50% back up. This means to me that those coins are going to show good signs of recovery once the market's back. If every coin you're looking at right now is slowly dripping and not even recovering 1% a day or 2% a day from that dip, then probably it might be time to cut it, okay? If it's still going down from that dip like this, then you might want to cut away, but typically it's only really kind of smaller cap meme coins that are doing that right this second, as meme coin market seems to be slowly dying off. And if you go across to my Twitter right now, give me a follow while you're at it. I'll leave a link down below. Then you'll understand why meme coins are dying off. I wrote yesterday, is anyone still buying meme coins? What are you buying? And this is very typical. I have 5 dev positions on BullX. It's a good reminder that it's just scamming little rats that create memes. Now, I'm not saying that all meme coins are created by scamming little rats in the slightest, but you can see this is pretty much the attitude of a lot of people who've been burned heavily during the meme coin seasons, with the promises of massive gains for nothing. Now, Myria considers just a good example to be paying attention to here. As we come down through the list, Echelon Prime, a coin that I am very interested in, basically creating AI agents for gaming. Prime, again, I anticipate being a very decent value right now, considering a massive sell-off. You can see from October last year, Prime basically did 8-9x, showing good excitement in the market for these particular coins. Recently, it dumped towards the downside along with the rest of crypto. It's back up around 38%. After recent sell-offs, you can see it's been down around 77.8%. The exact same as Salana was down before it did that 250x. Now, I'm not promising that Prime or any of these coins are going to be doing 250x's plus, but GameFi is a heavily underrated narrative right now. It used to be highly rated, which is why it saw so much attention and excitement. But then now everyone's like, oh, it's not going to work, it's a scam. Go towards the places that people aren't really focusing on right now, the coins that people aren't really focusing on right now, because that's where you can find the real winners. Do you think people were focusing on Salana when it was worth $1.10 in the last bull market? Absolutely not. Where else? We can come down through this. Heroes of Mavia, another game that I know people are very keen on. It got so much attention recently and then died off. Look at it, it's down 84%. These are probably going to be some of the top performing GameFi projects of this crypto bull market. And if you want me to break down in more detail, I'll do a ranking list for the top gaming and GameFi tokens. Then let me know down below in the comments. And what I want you to do is leave your favorite gaming token. If I get enough of those comments, then I'll run a ranking video later on this week. So make sure you're subscribed to this video so that we can rank the GameFi projects. And look at them, Illuvium, Beam, Superverse. The list goes on, guys. And many of these coins that are down 70 or 80% are going to have to do a 5 to 6x just to get back to those highs. They're more than likely to get back to those highs, and then they're more than likely to go significantly beyond that into the future. Now, there's lots of different GameFi projects out there, and not all are equal. We're going to find ones that have been performing well, and then just break them down as to why they've been performing well. This is Octo Gaming. You can see it's basically up nearly 140% since that recent correction, which is pretty good. So why is it up? Well, first of all, it's on Salana, which helps because Salana as a whole, as an ecosystem, is absolutely booming. And I think Salana projects and Salana games will do very well. The same can be said for Avalanche and AVAX. The likes of Shrapnel built on Avalanche could also see significant growth. Shrapnel is also heavily down, although today I literally see that it's already up around 13-14%. So don't know what's really going on with Shrapnel right now, but also showing some strength. Now, why is Octo Gaming showing strength? Well, what we want to look into is what really this platform represents. Now, first of all, it's got working games. That's very key, okay? Anything with working games is very useful to be looking at, because the promise of this and that that's happening in the future, we're not really interested at. In terms of partners, you can go in and look and see if they got good partners or anything like that. But the main reason we covered Octo Gaming a few weeks ago on the channel was actually because it has 30,000 daily users, 4 million registered users, and people are actively using it. It's also got 200,000 ratings in the App Store. So that's a very positive thing for games. You can then go and read some of the ratings if you wish. Now, I'm not telling you to go and jump into Octo Gaming, okay? By no means do I suggest this. But go and look at projects that have got active players that are actually enjoying playing the game. Makes sense, right? You want to invest in games that are actually being played, that have... Something else that's particularly bullish about Octo Gaming is actually it's backed by Salana Foundation, which is obviously key. Built on Solana. Solana's outperforming pretty much all the other layer ones right now in terms of volume, in terms of project development and things like that. And that's an incredibly bullish thing. You can probably go and look at other layer one ecosystems that you like, and then go and see coins that are backed by Avalanche, that are backed by ICP, that are backed by AVAX, that are backed by Ton ecosystem, that are maybe backed by Casper or whatever else. If you are particularly passionate about that layer one, go and look for games that are being built on those layer ones that you think are going to perform well, and just go ahead with that. And you can see it's a $13.4 million market cap. Now, this is really, really important. If you are not willing to take on the risk to reward of investing in small market cap coins, and you're not willing to be able to take downside as well as upside, then don't invest in small market cap coins. Because if you've already been burned and you haven't learned your lesson about investing in smaller market cap coins, and I would say that your biggest focus right now should be towards kind of larger market cap coins. I'm talking the likes of Ton, I'm talking the likes of ICP, the likes of Casper, the likes of Ethereum, the likes of Bitcoin, you know, you name it, guys. Most of these coins are going to absolutely blow up in the bull market. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All I'm saying is that the narrative of GameFi is pretty undervalued right now, and there's a lot of smaller market cap coins within GameFi that I think are going to show significant growth because they're backed by the right companies, they've got decent following, and more importantly, they've got loads of active game players playing a game. To be honest, I don't even need to play this game to realize if it's any good or not, okay? It's got 140,000 5-star reviews, which probably makes it better than most games. And by no means is that my favorite, and by no means is that better than other ones. I'm sure there is tons of other games which are also 5-star reviews, and if you want me to cover them on the ranking video later on in the week, which will get those coins big exposure, and leave the comments down below. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on that video. This is how I think you potentially can find a 50 to 100x GameFi coin, because you're not going to find a 50 to 100x right now that everyone is talking about. That is fundamentally impossible. Everyone is already talking about it, which means you've already missed your chance of getting 100x. Unless everyone was previously already talking about it and now no one is. And that's my biggest tip. If you want to make 100x's, you got to do your own research. I'm here to try and help you to do your own research by showing you how some coins are working well and what you can go and look for in other coins. Go and find another Octo Gaming that's worth like $3 or $4 million and has hundreds of thousands of active users giving it 5 stars. Pretty promising. But remember, these are small cap coins. Don't go and put anything more than a couple of % of your portfolio into these coins. But the aim of this video is to try and explain to you that many coins out there will see significant recoveries. I would say almost all coins out there that have decent utility that you bought into because you did good research and you understand the utility will likely have very good bull markets, even if they're down 95% right now. Nakamoto Games, another one. You can see 180, 190,000 followers. Everyone wanted to know about these projects, and now suddenly they're down in the dumps. No one wants to know about them. This is where you can see the biggest gains. Now, today marks a very important day, and that's because it's the Tier 1 node sale day for Privasea. And I'm going to tell you in just a minute how you can pick yourself up a Tier 1 node exclusively with the House of Crypto in just a minute. But first of all, what on earth is Privasea? Well, Privasea, an AI token that is one of the most hotly anticipated projects that are going to launch this year. Now, with the rise of AI, we're seeing other issues take place, but what Privasea does is very unique and very interesting. It offers a proof of human technology that attests human liveness in order to protect your digital presence whilst online, which is incredibly important if you think about it. Every time you've had to KYC for various different exchanges, you need to be the real person who does it. There are various scammers, etc., who in the future will start to use human images and AI images in order to try and steal and scam from other individuals. Privasea basically puts a stop to this with their unique technology. It enables people to validate their human likeness through facial biometrics to generate a unique NFT. This NFT is kind of like a digital passport, which will then be used as a proof of human identity whilst working online. This enables Privasea to secure your presence on both Web3 and Web2 platforms, and is definitely going to play a very big part in the future of development, not only in the Web3 space, but also in the Web2 space. This works not only on desktop, but also on mobile phone devices, and I think is going to be a very big player during this crypto bull market. So as promised, I found a way for you to pick up a Tier 1 node today. Tier 1 is the very best node available for you at the very best prices, and you can find that through a link down below with Swissborg. Now, this is a unique VIP link that is going to allow you to access this particular node sale through the House of Crypto's vault over on Swissborg. Now, Swissborg is European regulated, so unfortunately it's not available for US citizens or Australian citizens. And once you've accessed through my link down below and completed your KYC, you're going to be able to access that node sale for Privasea. Not only that, but there'll be a bunch of other huge projects being launched through Swissborg vaults, which you'll be able to access because the House of Crypto is going to get the exclusive VIP access to a bunch of upcoming projects. All you want to do is sign up through the link down below and enjoy the opportunities that Swissborg is presenting. This node sale is already selling out very quickly, so do not miss out on it because they've already managed to sell over $1 million worth of nodes today alone, so make sure you move fast, guys. Okay, now as promised, later on in the week, I'm going to be ranking GameFi projects. I'm going to spend this week researching this narrative because I think there's huge amounts of opportunity in the space right now that no one is really talking about. If you're entering into crypto right now, it couldn't be easier, but the chances are you didn't enter in right now because everyone enters at the top of the market. If you entered in March or something like that, be grateful that you've been through a bit of a bear market period to gain experience, but also to be in this opportune moment right now because it is an incredible time to be sat in crypto. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, and even if you didn't, feel free to leave a thumb up or thumb down. It still gives my video interactions and it helps me to get this video content to more and more people. If you are new to the channel, then 100% make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow when we're going to look at another underrated narrative. Bye-bye.